What's up everyone, it's Epictastic Joshua here. So we are reaching the end of 2023, and as you guys may have noticed, I have not been able to review every single film that I saw and was released this year, and there's part of reasons for that. One, because the first half of the year something personal was going on and I couldn't do the usual talking to you in front of a camera and such. And also, there's also been a constant problem with something involving the laptop situation, which that is about to get resolved very soon. We've also been taking a step back and dealing with my mental health as well. That's part of the reason why there's not been a lot of 2023 reviews, while a lot of things has kind of been sitting on the back burner in terms of new releases I talk about and such. So I'm not going to be able to get to review every single 2023 release for the end of the year, but what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to do a few roundups. If there's some movies you want to hear my thoughts on, go to my letterbox. I do give my thoughts on. But from now on, when it comes to reviewing every new release the next year and such, whatever doesn't get reviewed, I will put in a little review roundup. I'm going to try and get through the main movies that I want to talk about, that I feel like I have something more to say on. It'll all be discussing the 8-year anniversary, how I'm going to get back consistent. I figure we've gotten some good heartfelt movies this year, so I figure I want to talk about two of them. So we're going to talk about Are You There, God? Is Me, Margaret, and then The Holdovers. This is not going to take too long, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So Are You There, God? Is Me, Margaret is a coming-of-age drama that came out back in April, and this was directed by Fremon, the director of Edge 17, and is also based on the 1970s novel of the same name by Judy Blume. This stars Abby Ryder-Forrester, Rachel McAdams, Ellie Graham, and Kathy Bates. In this movie, we follow an 11-year-old Margaret as she moves to a new town and starts to contemplating about everything going on in life, friendship, and adolescence. She relies on her mother, Barbara, who offers support, and her grandmother, Sylvia, who's coming to terms with finding happiness in the next phase of her life. So, questions of identity, one's place in the world, and what brings meaning to life soon begins to bring them closer together than ever before. I really thought that Are You There, God? Is Me, Margaret was actually one of the better movies I saw this year. 2023 has been up and down when it comes to movies. You have movies that did well, movies that got beloved but bombed, and we've also been dealing with two different strikes, which thankfully are both now over. But there were some good things to admire in 2023, and these two movies is one of them. Starting with Are You There, God? Is Me, Margaret. Biggest praise I have when it comes to this movie is that I feel like this film was just very heartfelt and very kind-felt to watch. And as soon as I heard Luke Ponto and so many other movies, especially from Amanda from X-Manda reviews talk about it, I was curious, but I waited until July, and it took me so long to, but there were so many people who was praising this up, and this is one of those movies I could say that will be in my best movies of 2023. I thought this movie showcased the direction and talents of Fremon once again, who proves once more that she is not a one-trick pony in terms of directing. I want to see her direct some more movies because this was really good her. She's able to tackle the themes of the movie with emotional value and heartfelt energy, and keeps the story in check with the themes of adolescence and family. And I think for that, it does a really great job in terms of what it sets out to do. But it also helps that you have a movie that's very well paced in the editing. This movie is not too long. It is under 2 hours. It's an hour and 46 minutes. It gets you straight in and gets you straight out. It's fantastic. I think it is great. And I think the way the movie played out was such a magnificent treat. I thought the way the screenplay was written by Fremon was really great here. And this is one of those rare movies that's to almost get a 100% score, but I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes, but I thought the way it portrayed the performances was good. I thought the story was something that I could relate to. So much emotional value that you get to explore and you get to see. And I thought for the direction, it really took time to set out what it was going to do, and I very much love what they were going for here. It's really great stuff. It is simplistic, it is heartfelt about the complications and complexities of becoming a woman. I'm not a girl, but I do live in a house full of girls, and I'm also the only brother of 4 sisters, so I can understand how they feel about their situation, but also is very honest about it too. I also say the cinematography in this movie is beautiful. There's some great looking shots. It's very competently handled, and I thought for the most part, cinematography wise, it kept you interested, and it was beautiful, good looking shots here. I also think the production design and costumes and the work of creating the era this movie takes place in was also very good. The score by Hans Zimmer was fantastic here. I didn't even know it was Hans Zimmer doing music for this. I was shocked when I saw his name in the credits. I'm like, Hans Zimmer did the music? Shit! I thought the performances that were given were fantastic, and it kept the story going. It kept it going at a very nice pace. So for that, I give it a lot of credit there. The rest of the cast in this movie, such as Rachel McAdams, Ellie Graham, Benny Safdie, and Kathy Bates, are phenomenal here. Rachel McAdams, this is one of the best things I've seen her in. I love her in Mean Girls and Notebook and Doctor Strange, but when she gives performances like this, is where I really give her credibility here. But Abby Ryder Forreston is very charismatic, very compelling, very vulnerable, and very emotional in the role of the main character, Margaret. She's interesting. I thought they did enough with her to make her stand out and to give her something to do. And for that, I definitely appreciate the way they handled it and the way they went about it. Because if this was a character who was unlikable, I would have not watched this movie. But because of Abby Ryder Forreston's performance, she is really well done, and I don't think she's gonna get a nomination, nor is Rachel McAdams at the Academy, but I feel like they should at least be acknowledged, at least in the short list or something. In terms of the issues I do have when it comes to the movie, it slows down in the middle, and there are a few things girl related that it did take me a while to get into, but after that, once I really got into the movie and I was really enjoying the story that was presented, I sat there and took it in. So at the end of the day, Are You There God Is Me, Margaret is one of the more underrated films of 2023. It is one of the best movies of 2023. It's a great film. A few cast members get underused, but if you're a fan of Judy Blume and fans of her books or the late author, and especially if you're a girl, you can definitely appreciate this. Even if you're not a woman, I think you will gratefully appreciate this. This is one of the most underrated films I've seen in 2023 all year. Everyone should give this movie a chance. Buy that Blu-ray, buy that DVD, buy that 4K, find this on streaming, watch this. This was a very heartfelt film. I will walk away and give this a better than Vampire Academy. And the next movie I'm going to talk about in this review roundup is going to be The Holdovers. This was directed by Alexander Payne, who admittedly I have not seen a whole lot of his work except for Sideways, this, and just recently The Descendants. Not the Disney one, the one with George Clooney and Shailene Woodley. This stars Paul Giamatti, Divine Joy Randolph, and Dominic Sessa. And this is set in 1970 as it follows a currently history teacher at a New England boarding school who is forced to chaperone a handful of students with nowhere to go over Christmas break. Also deal with the school's head cook, who just lost a woman who just lost her son in the Vietnam War. This was really good. This was a very nice, heartfelt comedy drama. I was interested in this because of the praise it was getting and because I was a fan of Sideways by Alexander Payne. But having watched this movie, I was really intrigued. I very much enjoyed the movie. Just to say, this is gonna go down as one of the Christmas classics, of course. I gratefully thought that the way this movie was well acted, great. I thought Paul Giamatti, never underestimate Paul Giamatti. He is a fantastic actor, which he should be nominated for something. This is the second time that he and Alexander Payne has done this, besides Sideways, which was a great film in itself. But I thought the way the movie was handled and his performance was great. I love Paul Giamatti. Stuff like this and stuff like Gunpowder Milkshake and even stuff like 12 Years a Slave and Love and Mercy, for the clips I've seen straight out of Compton. He's a great dramatic actor, but he's also a really good funny actor. And the guy is just great at what he does. There's no question as to why this man is a great actor. He's fantastic here. Dominic Sessa as Angus Tully, I thought he was really good. This is the first thing I've seen him in, and if I want to see him do more stuff, because he's got a bright future ahead of him. He was incredible as well. Divine Joy Randolph, which she is the head cook, Mary Lamb, thought she was fantastic in the movie as well. These three carried this movie with so much on their shoulders. Carrie Preston did a great job. Bradley Hepper and the rest of the cast was great. But it's really the heartbeat as to where I could really get into it. And I thought the way the characters were played out, I thought the story was played out really well. And the way this movie is shot, from the way this movie is acted, this is a movie that I know is going to be on streaming service. But if it's playing anywhere in your area, you need to get out and go see this, because these movies, especially the big budget stuff and the small original filmmaking like this, should not be failing at the box office, because you need movies like this to balance out the franchises and stuff. And I absolutely agree when it comes to that. It does really good here. There are some dramatic moments here that get you. There are some moments where you don't agree with some things going on, but I think a lot of what the performances give is good. I think what Alexander Payne was able to do was great as well. And the way this movie is shot is great. This is shot on digital film to capture that 1970s aesthetic, but I personally would have felt if they shot this on film, I think it would actually made it even more great, because the way this movie is shot is just beautiful. It's competently creative, and the score was also beautiful. I really enjoyed the production design. The movie is paced real good. I very much love the pacing of this film, so you definitely get that, and you definitely see where the money is, and it leaves you feeling heartwarmed by the end. It's the cinematic equivalent of a soft blanket that makes you feel so warm and so cozy that you just enjoy being a part of the story. My only real gripe when it comes to this movie is, I will say the film is a little familiar with its story beats, because you know where this is gonna go. We've seen this done before, and we've seen this done plenty of times here. But I think the execution is what makes it welcoming, and what makes it great, and what makes it emotionally present. My other issue is, while I really enjoyed the pace, I think you could have shaved maybe 10 minutes off of this, because this is 133 minutes. Could have shaved off a few moments here, but it wasn't self-indulgent. It wasn't like Ari Aster's Beau is Afraid, and it wasn't like The Way of Water, where you're just kind of checking your phone asking where's the intermission. But at the end of the day, I thought The Holdovers did exactly what it set out to do in its message. This is a great film that is so good and so well done that I really think that this is one of those movies you should be watching, because this is something that is just so beautiful and so heartfelt it will warm your heart, especially during the holiday season. Because of the performances and because of Alexander Payne's direction, it actually made me want to go back and watch some of his other films. So with that, I have to give this an Epictastic. And if Alexander Payne's other movies are just as great as this and The Descendants and Sideways, I'm gonna enjoy going through his filmography. Even Election, which I really want to check out Election. I've heard some really good things. But that's it, everyone, for my little double bill of my double bill of 2023 reviews. Like I said, I will explain more how I'm gonna handle catch-up, but you will see some more catch-up videos, whether it's double bill or it's live streams. If you want something heartfelt, I would suggest watching these two movies. Both, one is underrated and one is very endearing. Definitely watch both of them. Well, that's going to do it for the video that you just watched. If you want to see more, my channel icon is up here. If you want to see more content from me, all my social medias are right here in this end card. I will also leave a playlist and a video here for you to see what the channel is about. As always, acknowledge me, stay Epictastic, join the Epictasticness, and you guys keep it cool.